Today I'm going to teach you the very best way to play Billie Jean on the piano. So two very important things to note about Billie Jean. The first thing is that this was recorded in 1982. That was a long time ago. So this was done analog. Sometimes analog tape was sped up or slowed down. So this song is not really in G minor, and it's not really in F sharp minor. So if you try to play along with Michael Jackson's original version, and you do this in the key of G, or you try this a half step lower in F sharp, you'll notice that neither is really perfectly in tune with the original. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it the second way I just showed you, in F sharp minor, because the recording is definitely a bit closer to being in F sharp minor than it is in G minor. Needless to say, this song was brilliantly produced by the great Quincy Jones. As a result, there are so many parts comprising this song. Even the bass sound is made up of like 3 or 4 different synths layered on top of each other. The strings, the background vocals, the guitar, I mean, it's a masterpiece. So given that we only have 2 hands, there's only so much we can do. I do think that the best way to play it is, of course, to get the bass part in the left hand and to get the synth strings in the right hand. So this. Yeah, I know there's no melody, but to do such a thing, to go like, right, that just isn't gonna sound too great. So let's get started with this left-hand bass line that I keep teasing you guys with. So it's gonna start on F sharp. I like to use the thumb. C sharp, E, F sharp, E, C sharp, B, C sharp. Let me play that again slowly. Now let me do it continuously 4 times so that you can hear what it's going to sound like without stopping. You have to nail that before you go on to anything else. So rewatch that and get that bass line nice and solid. Before I get too far into this lesson, I wanted to thank you guys for watching my videos. I hope that these tutorials are helpful. If they are, please consider subscribing. It is more helpful than you'll ever know. Thank you. Now it's time to learn the right hand chords. So they look like this. One more time. So what that is, it's an F sharp minor chord, A, C sharp, F sharp, up a whole step, B, D sharp, G sharp, that's a G sharp minor chord, and then finally, we end on A major, which is C sharp, E, A. Now retrace your steps down. Go in reverse, G sharp minor, back home to F sharp minor. So I'll play that 4 times in a row just so you can see how it's going to work when you loop it. Here's the 3rd time. 4. And a little trick I like to do in the 3rd chord, this one, the A major, 3rd finger hovers over F sharp. So I just push the F sharp down and I get a full F sharp minor 7 there, which is really nice. I think it adds a little something. So that would result in this. Here it is. Little 4-note chord instead of 3, and then back down. So just a little something you can add, but you don't have to add. When you put it together with the left hand, it looks like this, very slowly. Again. And notice that I'm playing the left-hand bass line in a very detached way. I'm not going... Right, that isn't going to sound good, so it's more like... They're definitely separated and detached. I don't know if I would call it a staccato. It's not quite like that. It's kind of in between. So that's going to take you pretty far if you're able to do that. That is a big portion of the song. So now, the big challenge of Billie Jean, or one of the many challenges, I guess, is how long the song is. It's almost 5 minutes long, and the roadmap, the whole form of the introduction, the strings coming in, the verses, the choruses, it's very complicated, and just about everybody messes it up. I've played this song live with different bands probably 1,000 times, and somebody always messes it up because it's very complex. So just stick with me and I'll guide you through the roadmap of the entire thing. So as far as the roadmap of the song goes, you need to start with just the left hand playing the bass, and that's going to happen 8 times like this. So that's pretty long. And then the right hand I taught you, that's going to join the bass line for 4 measures like this. Now we're in the verse. So we can keep doing that for the first 4 bars of the verse. This is where he sings, "She was more like a beauty queen," right? And the lyrics begin. So 4 more times. Now, what we're going to do is something different. We're going to transpose the bass line up to B. So it's going to look like this. So it's B, F sharp, A, B, A, F sharp, E, F sharp. Just like that. And the right hand is going to play a B minor 7 chord, which looks like this. A, B, D, F sharp from bottom to top. Now I stopped 1 note short because we're going to change the last note of this bass line before we go back to the original version. So watch. See what I did? I ended on C sharp. And now we can go back home. And then we're going to go back to the B minor version of this bass line with the B minor 7 chords again. Don't forget to end on C sharp, and now back home to F sharp minor. So that gives you your full 12-bar verse. Let me play the whole verse for you guys. Now we're at the second verse. This is where he says, "She told me her name was Billie Jean." And it's basically going to be the first 8 bars of the verse you just did. So it's a slightly shorter verse, like this. Right? It's all the same. And that's it. That's where the second verse ends. Now the pre-chorus. People always told me, right? So this part looks like this. So rhythmically, it's much simpler. What we're gonna do is play a D major chord. So D in the root, in the left hand, and then right hand. I like this inversion. It's second inversion, A, D, F sharp. And here's why I like it, because the next chord, which is F sharp minor, only requires the middle note to change. Now we're playing A, C sharp, F sharp. And my left hand moves to F sharp to play the root. So watch my right hand and you'll see that tiny change on the middle note. So I think that's the best way to do it. Now you'll repeat that. So that's 2 times. Do it a 3rd time. And now you think you're going to do it a 4th time, but not really. You just play D major chord, and then we do a new one called C sharp 7. And here's what it looks like. C sharp in the left hand, right hand is B, F, and G sharp. And I play those as eighth notes, and I get louder, which is called a crescendo, because we're going into the chorus. Billie Jean is not my lover, right? That whole part. So it's good to build it up. Now the chorus is identical to the verses. The chords and bass line and general 12-bar form are the same. However, the feel and rhythm of those right hand strings is a little bit different. So you don't have to do these differently, but I like to, just to differentiate from the verses. So instead of making these short in the right hand, I go like that. I hold them. So here's what it looks like. Now they're short. See, so very, very slightly different in terms of feel, but the music itself is basically the same. Now we're going to go to the third verse for 40 days and for 40 nights. This is identical to the first verse, but I'll play it anyway. And now verse 4 will be identical to the second verse. This is where he says, she told my baby. It's the same. It's kind of like an 8-bar verse instead of 12. So I'll play it anyway. And after that, the pre-chorus, people always told me, it's the same as the last one. I'll play it anyway. Now here's where things get weird. We're going to play a chorus. It'll be our second chorus so far, but it's shortened. And then it's going to go into a normal 12-bar length chorus afterwards. This is the part where things start to get derailed. So if you don't pay attention, it's a train wreck. So let me show you. Second chorus looks like this. That's it. So you see, it's a shorter chorus, and now we're at the top of the third chorus. So that'll be more like the first chorus, a normal 12-bar form. Let me play it for you. Now notice in that chorus I went back to playing the right hand stabs short. I just did that as a creative decision because it's the third chorus we've played and I'm a little sick of holding them. So just to add some differentiation, but you don't have to do that. Now we've reached the guitar solo. This is a little rhythm guitar moment that lasts for 8 bars, right? You're just gonna stay on the F sharp minor progression for 8 bars like this. And after 8 bars of guitar only, we're going to go back to the B minor progression, only for 4 bars, when Michael says, she says I am the one, but the kid is not my son, right? And that goes like this. That's another part people mess up. It's only 4 bars after that 8-bar guitar solo. Now we can go into a normal chorus, a normal 12-bar chorus. And this is, I think, the 4th time we're playing a chorus. So I'm going to go back to holding the right hand long, just for differentiation. So something like this. You've heard that before. It was just a normal 12-bar chorus. And now we're at the ending, which is essentially just repeating and slowly fading out our intro, our F sharp minor progression. Over and over. It's hard to do a live fade out, but something like that. That, my friends, is the correct roadmap for Billie Jean. Now you will always play it correctly. It's about 5 minutes if you do it right. So just pay attention to the sections, play through it with me, go back and rewatch this video, and eventually this strange form will make sense and you will start to memorize the sections. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Please subscribe. It's so helpful. And I will see you guys in the next one.